Hey, yo, everybody! Welcome back to another guide brought to you by your friend Lestian. Today, we're diving into the latest Freeman menace to hit the battlefield, Bonita. So grab your snacks and let's jump straight into it. Bonita is a Sentinel tank range unit mainly focused on countering and healing. She has low attack but very high HP as a proper tank shield. At first glance, this unit is meant to slow down the match and almost completely counter any indirect damage to your commander. Abilities. Ability 1. Enemy deals damage with abilities to ally commander, heals ally commander for 760 at max level. Only this ability alone already makes her a top tier unit. This is the first real healer that actually helps against indirect damage to your commander. You have ever suffered against counter infection, Synthe's skin damage, Nicole, Jean's turret damage, or Pixie for example, yeah, she's your girl. It won't completely stop all the damage from Pixie or Corbin when they reach crazy high numbers, but it will reduce the damage a lot, keeping you alive long enough to turn the tables in your favor. Sadly, this ability reaches its max value at Reborn 7. From Reborn 4 to 6, it reaches 465 healing at level 31, which is still a very decent value honestly. Ability 2. Ally with resistance attack heals the attacked ally for 805 HP at max level and blinds the attacker for one turn. Yes, even more healing. This time it's for your units with resistance when they are attacked. And it doesn't stop there, attackers will also be blind, giving you an even bigger advantage and better field control. The trigger might sound restricted at first, but there are now several ways to give resistance to your units, so don't underestimate this ability. Fun enough, this ability gets a huge jump from Reborn 4 to 5, scaling to more than double the value of Reborn 4. And for even better news, it reaches its max value at Reborn 5. And this is where ability 3 becomes really useful. End of turn gives 70 resistance at max level to allies in their road for the duration of enemy's turn. Up until now, we didn't have any ranged unit that gives resistance. Thanks to Bonita, we can now have up to 4 units with a really high resistance value. Since the trigger happens at the end of your turn, nothing will stop it from activating unless your opponent kills or transforms her before your turn ends. This is where things get juicy because it brings insane survivability to those delicate low HP range units or to turn melee units into really strong tanks. This ability reaches 55 resistance at level 31 from Reborn 3 up to Reborn 5. And yes, again, since it's a game-changing ability, it gets its max value at Reborn 6. Best course of action, place her in the second row so this buff also applies to your melee units in that row. Ability 4. Passive. Immunity to suppression. The cherry on the top. This unit cannot be suppressed, making her the first range unit with this ability. This makes her the best utility range tank up to date, and a really viable option against Inferno users also. Outfit ability. Enemy with blind is attack gains plus 10% attack. One thing Bonita can really do is deal high damage on her own, because of her low attack. But this outfit ability compensates a bit. She gains a 10% attack boost based on her current attack each time a blind enemy is attacked. This can scale really fast if multiple enemies' blind units are attacked. Combos. There isn't a single commander that has perfect synergy with her yet, but we can say Kendra, Dragana, and Inferna fit her slightly better than the others, with smaller synergies with Verena, Morgan, and Salt. First, Kendra. Bonita is a really good option for Kendra's healing comp. Kendra adds even more healing to the mix and also boosts Bonita's attack with her second ability. Meanwhile, Bonita adds extra survivability to core units in Kendra's comp like Cinta. Inferna. She can give Bonita some cover so she doesn't get transformed too quickly, allowing you to set up your combo more easily. Dragana. Even though Dragana's first and third abilities focus on melee units, her second ability works with both ranged and melee units, so Bonita fits here too. If you place Bonita in the second row, her resistance buff at the end of the turn won't interfere with the resistance Dragana gives on spawn. In summary, your melee unit summoned in that row can reach 100% resistance, becoming almost a perfect wall, unless Lyssa shows up, of course. Verena synergizes with Bonita mainly through healing, and Morgan casts her abilities works with ranged units. Best synergy for Bonita will be obviously Cinta, especially if you have her outfit unlocked. Bonita's massive healing allows Cinta to wreak havoc and finish your opponent really fast. Kaya also has great synergy. Bonita triggers lots of healing, so Kaya's attack boost become massive. And Bonita's resistance buff gives Kaya extra survivability. In this context, Bonita becomes an extremely strong addition to healing comps. So units like Tora, Brittany, Florence, Ravenna, Belle, Wendy, etc. all fit nicely into the mix. Then we have blind units like Casey and Kitty with Off It On. Casey in particular has amazing synergy. She brings more blind to the field, allowing Casey's combo to keep rolling while also gaining extra survivability from the resistance buff. Kitty adds an extra layer of protection and attack boost, making Bonita and Casey even more annoying to deal with. Lola can also be considered as a good synergy. Both of them benefit from each other and make it much harder for your opponent to remove either one. Celia. Although Bonita's resistance won't be able to trigger Celia's first ability since it only lasts for enemy's turn, Bonita's healing second ability will trigger whenever Celia gets attacked, and if you set both on the second row, Celia will become almost unkillable since she could reach 100% resistance. Game Changer Units. Bonita brings insane utility and protection to fragile ranged units, many of which are glass cannons with low HP but game changing abilities. So, units like Pixie, Corbin, Grace, Cinta, Bea, Nicole, Harper, Ivy, etc. Yeah, you get the idea. For example, with Bea, Bonita helps her stay alive long enough to stack her infection and close the match. cleanse units. Bonita lacks any antidote, so she is vulnerable to debuffs and harmful status effects like infection or poison. Having cleanse units in hand will help her survive much longer. Counters. Configuration abilities. Any unit that can set Bonita's HP to a fixed value is a threat. Obviously, Lola is the main menace. She is the range counter by excellence and makes all of Bonita's sustain almost worthless. So be very careful against her. Same happens with Alexa's dogs. If you get unlucky and Bonita's HP is set to 1, Bonita is basically done. Morena will do a similar job. It requires one extra turn, but she can set Bonita's HP to 1 after Bonita attacks her. Belle with outfit on. Bonita has really low attacks, so it will be really easy to decrease her attack to 0. So when Belle's outfit ability triggers, she can instantly kill Bonita. Wendy with outfit on. Wendy takes longer but stacks poison damage over time. Each turn Bonita loses 50% HP, and eventually she becomes so low that anything can finish her. Transform abilities. Ravenna, Cyrex, and Roxy are especially dangerous since they can transform Bonita and completely disable all her sustain abilities. Reaver. Even though Reaver drones take a while to kill Bonita, their damage will destroy all your other units first. Nymeria. Hold Typhoon bypasses resistance, and Nymeria is strong enough to eventually defeat Bonita on her own, after some turns, since both her Siphon damage and poison can trigger multiple times. Other Hell Siphon units will deal a lot of damage too, but Bonita can usually heal herself fast enough to keep it up. Androids. Best android that synergize well with Bonita are Brooke, Marion, and Ursula. Brooke gives melee units resistance for 1 turn, allowing Bonita's second ability to heal them and enabling her combo with Celia. Marion provides extra healing, and since Bonita usually stays at high HP, Marion's active ability can deal considerable damage. Ursula gives Bonita a free cleanse each turn, which is extremely valuable. Relationship stats. At GM League at level 20, we can see Bonita will get an extra 58 attack and 368 HP. From level 21 to 30, we can see only her first and second ability get extra values, which makes sense since more resistance would have been too much. At level 29, she will earn plus 70 extra commander healing for her first ability, making a total of 830 healing value at Reborn 7. At level 30, she will earn plus 90 extra healing for her second ability, making a total of 895 healing value at Reborn 5. So, any level you gain will be very useful to increase Bonita's sustain. So just keep leveling her steadily. Final thoughts. If I had to place her on my tier list right now, she will go straight into the anti-meta tier, since most of her abilities are designed to counter common strategies. She alone can heavily reduce the Hunter menace once and for all, unless infection stacks get out of control and you don't have Synthal ready. In some scenarios, she can also slow down Domino Rush playstyles, making her a very viable unit in the current meta. She arrives in the Lyssa's world to slow down matches and give you extra time to breathe and build your combo. Indirect damage abilities are and will probably remain, some of the most annoying mechanics in Lyssa for a long time. And right now, Bonita is the only unit capable of truly slowing that damage down. So yeah, go get her as soon as you can. You won't regret it. Comps. Canberra Comp. Bonita, Sky, Dora, Kaya, and Cinta a score for your healing comp. Casey for blind, and the last two units can change depending on your comp or who you face. You can choose Kitty for more blind and attack boost and extra protection, Morana for utility, Pixie for stun and counter, Lola for more protection, Bloom or Orin to counter Domino, maybe another healing unit like Belle or Brittany, etc. You get the point. Inferno Comp. Bonita, Cinta, Kiana, Casey, Tora, Morana as core. Then again, you will have two slots for any other unit you want. Grace, Kitty, Lola, Vespina, Pixie, more healers, whatever you want, honestly. Regana comp. So, Bonita, Celia, Torres, and Cinta as core. In this case, you have a lot more space to use the units you want since you can choose between fill the rest of your team with more melee units or to fill it with counters or with more units for Bonita's combo. That's it for today's video. Now you officially know how Bonita turns your opponent's big brain indirect damage strategy into a cute little tickle. If they see her on the field, they are either panicking or already opening the surrender menu. If this guide saved your commander from getting absolutely bullied by Hunter, Pixie, or random indirect damage nonsense, then you already know what to do. Hit the like button so Bonita heals your win rate too. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Bye!